Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with me today. I'd love to just chat a little bit about your experience of working with us throughout your entire process of finding your practice opportunity, but also how things have been going at since you've been there for quite a few months now.
Everything's been great, to be honest. I love working at the clinic. I think it's a great match for me. Um, so yeah, like everything that was basically promised was delivered. And that's really a good thing. I really wanted to have a work-life balance, and that's something that I got. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Can you share a little bit about just what you do and your journey of becoming a licensed veterinarian through the ECFVG program?
So right now what I do is consultations, surgeries, preventive medicine. Um, for the ECFVG, I had to go through a process of different examinations that consisted of English skills. We also had to do uh, BCSC, which is a clinical competence theoretic examination. And after that, you have to do a practical test, and that's what I had to go through in order to, get my license. So, yeah.
It's such a
But that
long process, isn't
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, it's very long, but all of that has actually helped me in clinical practice right now. And yeah.
That's incredible. Where were you in your search for a job before you and I connected?
So before we connected, I was talking to different recruiters. I was finishing my master's at UC Davis, and at that time, I was actively looking for opportunities. As you know, as foreign veterinarians, we have some limitations when we are not fully licensed. So I had not completed my ECFVG at that point. Um, so I had to work in a state where the limited license was allowed, basically, and that's what you helped me with, like figuring out what was the best state, like finding some opportunities. So yeah, that's
That's great. Do you believe that working with us benefited you during your process of searching for your first practice as a veterinarian?
yes, definitely. And one of the things is that and I'm very grateful with you guys because many other recruiters, as I said, I was talking with different recruiters. They basically closed the door once they knew that I was not fully licensed, because I still have one more exam, even though I already had the NAVLE done and I passed. They were, the moment they knew that, oh, like it's gonna be like more processing, it's gonna, we have to now talk with the practice and figuring this thing out. Like they totally, they are actively looking for people to fill like positions, but they do not. Uh, Once that they knew, they were like, okay, yeah, like it doesn't, it's not gonna work. But with you was different, with because if you, I think you didn't even know what the ECFEG was, but you took the time to say, okay, let me see, I'm gonna figure it out. Um, and then it was the same week that you were like, okay, I found these two practices, and I was like, wow, okay, it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a learning curve for myself. And I mean, you taught me so much about the program and each step, since there's multiple steps. So it was a great learning experience for myself and my team that I continue to share the knowledge about, which is incredible, but also able to help you through it to get to the finish line was just awesome. So off of that, what ultimately led you to select the job that we presented over other opportunities that you had?
So we discussed several different things about what I was looking for in a job, and also what was my right, the right place for me. And once I talked with the owner, and we went through several things, and we um, basically matched in many of the things like patient care, expectations. They invited me to visit. So once I came here and I visited the practice. I met the team. I actually was shadowing those 2 days, and they were really great with me. And also, we were always very clear. And they always said, like, you don't have to, you visited, but you don't have to take the job, and that was it was everything was very transparent, and I didn't feel committed to, oh, I need to take. I actually took the job because that was the right place for me. So yeah.
That's awesome, especially since you made the big move from California to Michigan. So how's been that big change in lifestyles?
Well, it was yeah, no, it was good. Especially because northern Michigan, it's amazing. There are so many things to do for someone like me that loves outdoor activities. There's always something. Many people actually told me like, "Oh, it's cold in Michigan. Why are you going there?" And and I was like, "Oh, that's a good thing." But I was here visiting, so I knew what to expect. And winter, yeah, but winter, it doesn't last the whole year. And this past winter was not too bad. It was actually very mild. So there were many things that you can still do. And the driving was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So it was definitely a change in many aspects. Uh, and even people are, yeah, different, but I've been very welcome, and I feel great being here.
I love that. That's awesome. When you first partnered with us, you shared obviously what you were looking for in terms of a great team environment that had open communication so you could collaborate obviously with the team, other doctors, and your work-life balance, which I'm glad to hear that you're able to have. So have you been able to stick with your CrossFit? I know that was a big component that you like to do after work. So have you been able to achieve all that while working with your practice and team?
Yes, actually, yeah. They have been very flexible, and we adjust. Sometimes, yeah, like life happens, and there are more appointments, and but I never leave work after 5:30, 5:15, 5:30. That's and sometimes I need a little bit more time for records, to do records, and I can do it during the day. So that's a good thing because I don't like to go home and have all my records to do, and have a pile of things to complete. So leaving work and being able to do all that I'm supposed to do is great. So I've been doing CrossFit after work for sure. I always get on time for class, and so yeah, I mean, they are being very flexible with the time and with the scheduling. So sometimes, yeah, like I can see the schedule, and I'm like, this is a little too much. Maybe we can do this is not urgent. Let's do this. Let's move around, and they are very open with that. So yeah.
That's wonderful. I know you've already recommended a colleague of yours to us, but overall, would you recommend beyond just you to any other person that's looking for a new opportunity?
Definitely, yes. And the reason is what I already said. You were the ones that say yes, like we can help you, and we are gonna try to find you like a good practice. And yeah, and well, some other people just, yeah, just never go back. So
Oh,
I think you are very committed and to the different veterinarians that you work with, and also you make sure that the things that we look for in a practice are actually met once that we are hired. And you were
I
constantly also following up with me after I joined the practice, so that's something great too.
I appreciate that. Well, it's been amazing to work with you in general. I loved hearing your story and how you've been doing. I love that you're loving Michigan, so that's awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
um no, I believe that you guys just need to keep helping people to find the right opportunities, that you are awesome to work with. Like you are, yeah, very nice people, and that you never saw my limitations as that, like barriers, but instead you went beyond. And as I said, I'm very grateful because the job I have, which is actually what I wanted, is because of you. So yeah.
Mhm. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Well, it's been, like I said, it's been great getting to work with you. I'm excited to continue to work with you and hear how things are going. So let's stay in touch. I'd love to hear all the updates, how it's going at.
Thank you. Okay.
Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your Friday and weekend.
You too.